Hello everyone, and in this video we're going to be talking about how to use shims on pre-assembled kitchen cabinets that you'll pick up from a hardware store. And so I have a 6-foot level right here and a 2-foot level right there. And so basically the goal of shims is to adjust these things so that they are plumb and that there's no tilt, because with these cabinets, if you do a backsplash of some sort and these things are not level, it'll really show up. You'll see, like, lines drifting off to the side and stuff, and it'll just look bad. So really important to kind of get this stuff right when you're doing this. And so the thing to think about at the high level when you're doing this is that you've got two directions of control. You can control the tilt like this. You can also control the pitch like that. And so what I do is I take shims like these guys, and so this is what they look like. They go from very skinny to about 1/4 of an inch. And so you come in, and I've also got shims on the back side right there, and I had another one on the other side right here. And so what you do is what I try to do is, number one, if I already got a cabinet installed, this was the highest point of the kitchen, by the way, and you always want to start from your highest point of your kitchen, because you can always shim the other cabinets up higher. You can't make cabinets shorter without having to take them out, use a miter or something and take that off. But start from your highest point. In this case, it was this corner. So this cabinet, and I've got my 6-foot level right here. And you can see that this guy is as close as I can reasonably make it to level. And you want to make sure that, these things are fully on these cabinets. And then the other thing is just check the gap. Sorry if that's not coming through, but look at the amount of space underneath that thing. And make sure it's not like, this could be a low spot and you wouldn't know because it's supported. But also, if you're able to kind of push this thing around and not hear it wobble, then that's a good indication that you've got this thing set right. So once you get these things set up so that the tilt is good and you're happy with it, and it's at the same height as your highest point cabinet in your kitchen, then you come in, and in my case, I had already marked out where the studs were, but I came in with some screws. Ideally, you would use about 2-inch screws. I use 3-inch ones because I know what's behind here, but you want to be extremely careful, especially around this area, because we've got electrical, we've got water, we've got drainage. So if you drill into any of those things, you can puncture it and make this a lot worse. So be really, really careful when you do this stuff. You know exactly what you're going into. It's not just about hitting a stud. It's about making sure you're hitting a stud and not hitting electric lines and other stuff. So just, again, really careful on that stuff. But once you get your tilt right, that's when you'll come in and throw in some screws on this side, because that controls on that face of this cabinet the tilt. So once you get it level, then screw in those guys, and that'll keep it at that height. Then the next step to think about is that pitch. And so in this case, I've got the shims also on this front side right here. And so that's where your 2-foot level come in really handy on this stuff, because you can just stick one on that level and one right here. And so when you're looking at these levels, you really want to spend a lot of time looking at it and making it as close as you possibly can. So if I zoom out a little bit, we can see that we can lift this guy a good 1/4 of an inch before that bubble is actually dead center. So close isn't good enough. You have to be really precise on the money with these things in order to get them right. So basically I did that there. And then, once we get this guy's tilt good or pitch good, I'm going to, and which it is, I'm going to move on to this one right next to it. We're going to do that same process of getting that back line set up good, so that when we do our backsplash, it'll be looking very, parallel to these things, because otherwise it'll look weird. But once we get this pitch good on this guy, then I'm going to tap into the studs, which I know I've got one there, also looking out for all the electrical lines behind this guy. And then once we do that, I'm going to stick in some shims, just like we did here on this corner. Put one there, put one there, and then we'll just be adjusting this guy up to make sure that this is level this way, so you don't have like a countertop with a slope to it. And yeah, so that's a general theory. And then the other thing is, with these pre-assembled cabinets, this gap is exactly 1/2 of an inch. So in order to make sure you've got good load transfer between these two cabinets, I'm going to buy some 1/2 inch exactly 1/2 inch thick boards from the hardware store. I'll cut them to length. This is, or should be, around 34.5 inches tall. So just cut off, you know, 2 34.5 inch things, and then we can basically come in with some 1.25 inch screws or something, and then just kind of secure both these guys together so that, you know, when you're, you know, pressing down or putting on like a really heavy countertop onto this guy, some of the load will be able to be transferred into this thing so it doesn't just break the stuff on here. So that's the theory behind shimming and how you use all these levels and stuff. The laser level is kind of like a nice last thing I do, where I just see, you know, when I put in that tiling and we're gonna have our grout lines, you know, how are those actually gonna look? But, you know, just for getting started, I think just go with these big levels. You really do need a 6-foot level. You can't get away with a 2-foot level when you have to like go across these cabinets and stuff. Ideally, I'd have an even longer level. And what makes these so valuable is that, like, when you kind of come down to this angle and look at them, you can see exactly if it's gonna be contacting all these things, because this is where you're having that load transfer. So if you have a high point and all your, you know, let's say this thing like was wobbling around this thing, that means that this is a high point, and this is going to be taking all of the load, and your low points aren't going to be doing anything in terms of weight transfer. So if you come in with like a 500-pound granite countertop and you're pressing all the weight down on just this one panel, that's how you're going to end up breaking it. So that's the reason why shimming is so important, and it's really important to also get it so that you know, your pitch is good too, because if this guy, like right now, if I didn't shim this, all the load is going to be going to this high point right here, and my low point right here is not going to be taking any load. So again, we're going to be overstressing the materials in these cabinets, which is not what we want to do. So that's why we should care and spend as much time as we do on this stuff. But yeah, that's how you shim kitchen cabinets. Hope this is helpful stuff. Thank you all for watching, and be well.